Good morning, everybody. It's your boy King Churro, and we're doing another uncut live stream. Is what it is. You get what you get, and blah blah blah. Right. So, right off the bat, first thing I did when I got up this morning was go take my meds. Um, didn't even bother making coffee. It's really cold outside. So. Last night I played PlayStation till a little after midnight with my friends from the squad, um, my old squad, plus some new people, and we're all chatting on Discord. I have a couple of live streams from when we played. One was like a couple hours long. I think you only hear me. I don't think you hear them at all. We're having a conversation. I don't think the live stream recorded their voice and it recorded our conversation. But there were a lot of things said. Um, a lot of laughs, a lot of laughs. I enjoy that. Um, the one thing you know, one conversation we had about one of the members of our squad who've known for I think I've known him since 2020, 2021. The other squad members have known him a little longer than that. Now they ousted him. Which I don't disagree with. Um, you know, he spoke to the way he spoke was a little too big for his britches, if you know what I'm saying. And case in point, the word nigga. Now, it's more of a term than a word. And now I guess he started not even just saying nigga, he just started he's putting a hard R and make it blatantly being disrespectful to certain people in the squad because he knew they were black. So they eventually had to say, you know what, we're done with you. So they kicked him out. And again, I don't disagree with it. For a long time, he, him and I, he had disagreements with me, would never tell me about them. And then next thing you know, I'm blocked or I'm muted in the chats or so everybody would be talking shit, but when I talk shit, it was a different situation. So apparently I've gotten him to the point where fuck churro, blah blah blah. I'm like, the fuck did I do to you? I never knew what I did, and to this day I don't know what I did. I've it's never been explained to me what I did, but it's like, irregardless of the fact, right? Irregardless of the fact, um, yeah, no, it is. They ousted him, and I'm like, cool, but let's also understand the parameters as to why we oust him, right? If you were gonna sit here and say that it's because he used a hard R when he said nigga, but he used a hard R, right? The blatant disrespect. Well, we have another member who is of, yes, might maybe half black, but also is half Mexican, and says he's got a little Filipino in him too, which that's I'm gonna keep calling it out. I'm Filipino. I don't think you know much about your heritage. You keep claiming it, you know. Whatever, no big deal. You know, I think generally he's a good kid. Generally speaking, he has pure intentions mostly, right? Um, I think he's autistic. I'm not sure, but regardless of fact, your autism doesn't shouldn't play any role in your personality and your behavior, right? But at the same time, you cannot sit here and do the same thing, right? You Even if you're not directing it towards anyone, saying the N word with a hard R is bad across the board, right? If it's for one person, it should be for the others. You know, if it's one person, it should be everybody. Nobody can say the N word with a hard R. And on top of that, there are people in our squad that are uncomfortable with using the N word or hearing the N word at all, whether it's nigga or nigger. So in that case, we should just not use it at all. And I had brought up the fact that, wait a minute, so you can't say nigga, but you're gonna hear it in the rap music. And I say this shit all the time. If you do not want people who are not black to use the N-word, why do you put it in the music that you push into our brains? You push into our ears. Why is it an issue when they say it, but it's not an issue for you to sell it? Maybe you don't sell it and then you won't hear it. But when you put it in the music and then you see like it was one time, it was Tyson Fury, the boxer. He was singing along to Biggie Smalls. If you don't know, now you know, nigga. And everybody make a big old deal. Oh, he says that shit behind the closed doors. It's in the music. If it's in the music, why are you know what I'm saying? You can't sit there and accuse someone of being racist because they're repeating what the music said. It's in the lyrics. And if it's in the lyrics, it should be no big deal for someone to say it. So again, I made I made it a point to say this. If you're gonna if you're gonna block someone, you're gonna kick someone out of the squad for saying nigger. You yourself should not be saying nigger. It's a problem when one person says it, but it's not a problem if you say it. It's it just well, Danny's not black. Well, sir, you're only half. If we're gonna play portions here, again, Mr. Happy, Mr. Hybrid over here, seems like a good kid for the most part. And seems like his pure intentions. Doesn't know a whole lot, hasn't really discovered a whole lot. Says, "Oh, I will never try this. I'll never try." Why not? What do you have to lose? If someone made you a spam sandwich or someone made you a pizza with spam on it, why wouldn't you try it? You just need one slice, 2 bites. I don't want to have this conversation anymore. And then you start talking about some such shit. You're not gonna touch that. That was part of the conversation, guys. And just like, no, talking about butt sex and shit. All right, so yeah. Well, anyway, I woke up to this shit. I'm gonna play it for y'all. Mom's going broke is racist.
About the school to prison pipeline and even the preschool to prison pipeline. But what I have learned during my time as a mother is that it's really the motherhood to poverty pipeline. Let me explain. All of these pipelines and all of these issues with literacy in the education system, They are intentional to hurt women. Okay, it is a form of punishment towards women, mainly Black women, brown women, or women who have had disabled children. So you enter a relationship, you get pregnant. If you decide that because of the actions of the father, abuse, cheating, whatever it may be, fraud, if you make the decision to leave that man and not put up with whatever abuse he is throwing at you, you now have to enter into punishment. Because how dare you not allow him to cheat, beat, and do all the horrible things that are causing.
Pro-choice. You had the choice to not open your legs to that man. You had the choice to choose the man you want to have a child with. You decided to have a child with somebody who is abusive, who cheats. And most likely, if you ended up with someone who cheats, more than likely, I don't want to make any umbrella statements or anything, but more than likely, you were okay, not more than likely. In some cases, women who end up with a cheater were the other woman to begin with. If you end up with a dude who cheats on you, knowing that he was cheating on his other woman with you, how do you turn around and act like, oh my God, he's a cheater? I chose. On top of that, how is it punishment for you? Because you then left the relationship that was toxic to you. Didn't think about, well, I got a child with this person. You know, there are a lot of families out there, a lot of old couples out there that have been married for 40 years, 50 years. And it's usually a dude that had to endure the wife. And in some cases, the wife had to endure the husband. But nowadays, it's just easy to just leave the relationship, leave the marriage, leave whatever. And then, oh my God, this is blatant racism or this is blatant sexism. This is misogyny. It's always misogyny, but you never talk about misandry. You always talk about misogyny, but never about misandry. And that makes zero sense.
A hostile environment at home. How dare you leave an attempt to protect yourself and your child from abuse? How dare you? So now you have to be punished. You're going to be punished firstly in that all these programs that pro-lifers told you were waiting on you if you kept that baby, they have waiting lists, sometimes years long. Okay, so even if you have a job or had a career, returning to that career is going to cost you. It's going to cost you about $500 a week, right? Unless you have a support system. Okay, unless you have a support system or you have money saved, it's going to cost you. So what ends up happening?
A support system like that wig on your head, huh?
A lot of times women stay home. And you're hoping, at 3, you get to throw that kid in Head Start. We have Head Start here. Not so fast, though, because depending on volume, Head Start could also have a wait list. And don't you have a kid with a disability or special needs? Because now there are even more hurdles.
None of this ever is I'm choosing to leave, or what about the women overwhelmingly that is not abused, right? Like what are we talking about? There is no accountability for the person that you decided to get with. There's no accountability for having children out of wedlock. There's no accountability for you choosing to have children at all. There's no accountability whatsoever. Whenever somebody does not like to be held accountable, what they usually say is that it's either racist or systemic or both. Every single time. It's women that reject abuse and that they can determine when and if they want to get married, who they open up their legs to, whenever it is that they want to leave. And we've made all of this so-called progress, but people can't figure it out.
About the school to prison pipeline and even the preschool.
I'm just saying, y'all, like, how does that make... She literally made a big old deal, and she omits... Here's the thing I don't understand, y'all. Why do y'all always omit the facts and can't admit? You know what I'm saying? You can never admit the facts. You rather just omit the facts. Fact of the matter is, you went ahead and laid down for this dude who ain't shit. You know, I had a conversation one time with a coworker of mine at my new job, right? She was talking about she got 2 kids. I know. I'm curious. I was talking to her and I was like, oh, 2 kids, a daughter and a son. Your son being the youngest. Same baby dad? And she's like, no. Oh, okay. Mind you, let me just give you a little context. She's Latina. And she only likes black guys. So she tells me, no, just, she started talking about the dads and how the first dad just didn't work out. And then the second dad, which is the father of her son, he's incarcerated. Okay. And then she was talking about this new guy that she's dating. That new guy is he plays defense for the college football team. Of course, he's like 30 now, or 28 or 30, something like that. I think she's 28 and he's 30. He plays football. He's talking about transferring to San Diego State or something. He's 30. So I'm assuming football is a means of college, but at the same time, it's like, you're 30. You're already past your prime for any sort of draft or anything else, right? Irregardless. She was telling me about how his car's in the shop. I'm like, to me, in my mind, it's like, you want to find yourself a good man, and you only like one kind of man. What did Chris Rock say? There's black people and there's niggas. Call me racist. I don't give a shit. Call me racist, but when do you stop going for the niggas and you start going for the black men? When you stop going for the guys who they just want to float by. They want to float by. Now, he likes to work. He say, like, because we talked to him over the Christmas party. He's like, I like to work. All right, cool, man. And you're going to school and all that. So, it's all good. But I looked at her. I'm like, his car's in the shop. He's driving your car. Now, when I found out, she told me that his car got totaled out. I'm like, oh, so he drives like a nigga too, huh? All right. No, look. All jokes aside, I only hope good things for them too. Apparently, her kids love him, and I don't know. I think she told me he's got a child or two of his own. He's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. When she walking around singing along to Mary J. Blige, I'm looking for a real love, someone. They're like, okay, well. But every time you find you end up attached to somebody, they end up fucking you over at the end of the day. Maybe you don't need to be in a relationship. Maybe you just need to focus on you and your kids. But what do I know? I just been married for 13 years. And I tell people how unhappy I am, but I really am. I'm happily married. All right, y'all. I got a couple of, I thought I had a couple other things here, but look at this one.
Mama can't stay because I don't want your mama in this house. It's real simple.
But that's my mother. She needs a place to stay. She's having a financial hard time. I'm her only child.
Okay. Well, then her only child needs to be taking care of her mother.
Okay.
You don't need to have your mama here. Your mama don't like you.
You take care of the bills and stuff here. So it's not like I'm capable of financially supplying for my mom. If I'm paying the bills, I'm not about to be uncomfortable in my own house. Like, that's wild. Like, the best thing for me to do is be able to have her move in with us. What do you want me to do? Tell my mama no?
You don't got to tell your mama no. I'm going to tell your mama no. Your
That's
mama
crazy.
Your mama don't like me, so I don't got no problem telling her no.
He not being mean. He just being honest as hell. Y'all confuse boundaries with disrespect every time. She's cordial with you. What do you mean? Don't even sit there and do that. She's cordial with you.
But she be talking shit behind my back, though.
No, she don't.
Okay.
No, she don't.
Yes,
but
do.
You need to understand that there's no way I'm about to sit over here and allow my mom to not have a place to stay.
Well,
that's crazy when she can come stay with us. We got a whole nother room for her. So you care more about telling your mom no than protecting your man's peace. Okay, got it.
A village. It takes a
village. And
it do. Okay, so your mama should understand that. She old enough to understand that. She talks shit about me. She old enough to understand that it takes a
Nico,
village.
like, you don't even understand how hard this is of hearing from you. Well, Steve, it's only hard to hear because it's real. That's accountability now. Because you basically making me choose to help my mom or not.
No, you can help your mom. You just can't help her move into here.
Why no?
Because I don't want your mama staying with
you. But
you.
your goofy mama be staying over here half the time.
But my mama also respects you, even though she probably shouldn't.
Respect is the rent, sis. If your mama ain't paying it, then she can't stay.
Like I told you, I will help your mama. I will help your mama. She can get
help her get down here.
Well, I'll help her get down here, but she can't stay here. She can't. She got to go somewhere else and stay. We gonna get her a hotel or something. But
my mom is not staying. Are you out of your mind? My mom is not staying in a hotel. Are you crazy? He offering options, and you still ungrateful? Girl, pick a struggle.
Mama can't stay because I don't want your mommy.
You know, I mean, personally, when my mother-in-law was recovering from cancer, I got an extra room. And my mother-in-law tried to make the best of the situation. And I tried to make the best of the situation. At the time, I wasn't working. I was just getting workers' comp. Anytime she needed something, I was there. Try to be there as much as I can. I mean, I was here. But I don't know. I mean, it just seems like a lot of people's mother-in-law situations. You can't tell your significant other's parents how to behave. But at the same time, if you're providing for your family and you just lay down some simple guidelines, nothing crazy, some simple guidelines, I think it should be okay. Now, if they decided, well, fuck your guidelines, I'm going to do what I want to do, but not my house. You're at my house, you do what I need you to do. You do what I need you to do to keep the peace. Because if you disrespect me, both you and your daughter, my wife, can go. You know, now I've had certain situations where my father-in-law come to my house, and you know, in my house, in my fridge, I have, you know, if I have more than, let's say I have three, or let's say I have 4 cases of soda. Well, 3 will fit in there, and the 4th will go in the cupboard, right? What's in the cupboard stays in the cupboard. It's like it's storage. What's the 3 that are in the fridge? That's the 3 choices you have. And if it ain't one of the choices, then I've got water. My father-in-law comes in. I see, and the thing is, they don't know how to open the case. You know, it has a perforated, you know, section of the box to open up. They don't know how to do that for some dumb reason. So I go in the kitchen and I see this case of mug root beer. It's on a countertop, ripped open. I'm like, what the fuck? I go in the fridge. There's 3 cases of soda there. So I look at my father-in-law like, oh, were you the one to open up that case? He's like, yeah, Ray. It's hiding in the cup. I'm like, no, it's not hiding in there. It's storage, Dad. It's storage. It's stored there. We have 3 cases already opened in the fridge. Now I have to figure out how to put this 4th case in the fridge. In a fridge that's already packed. Oh, I'm sorry, Ray. I'm like, well, next time, whatever you see in there is what you get. You don't get to have your way every time. Now, when I go to your house, you know, everything's done your way. When you come to my house, everything's done my way. I'm like, you know, just to let you know that, you know, if I have the cases already in there, if I wanted to put that case in the fridge, then I would have done it. But as far as we were concerned, the 3 cases that are already in the fridge, those are your choices. I wasn't mad. I was just kind of like, you know what? Because I don't talk to my in-laws this way. I don't talk to my in-laws and say, these are my boundaries. These are how things go. X, Y, Z, dot, 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 dot. I don't do that. For the most part, my in-laws, because there's plenty of time where I've been broke. I don't even know how my wife is still with me. I'm broke. And, you know, my in-laws are there for me. So I will never disrespect them in the sense that I'm going to tell you exactly how I want you to act in my house. I don't do that. I don't even do that with my nephew, and I should. When you come to Ray's house, when you come to Uncle's house, this is how you act. Da, 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 da. But I don't. I don't because he's already spoiled at home. They don't force that on him at home. So, you know, but at the same time, if Uncle says no, Uncle means no. Now, if Uncle has money, I'll go and take you to a store. We'll get you some, you know, little snacks. You know, we'll do what I wish my uncles did to me back in the day, back when I was growing up. Back when I was growing up, everybody was poor. So nobody, you know, when I hear stories about people in the hood, oh yeah, my mom would send me to the store with some food stamps, and I'm like, we didn't have food stamps. Well, we were broke. My dad didn't live off food stamps, but we were broke. When my dad had money, we went to the store every Saturday morning. We'd go to the grocery store. We'd get what we can, and that'd be it. My dad made okay money. We were still probably lower middle, or maybe higher lower class. I don't know, but at the end of the day, that's how we grew up in Lenox, California. if you know anything about Lenox, California, it's basically Inglewood, California. So why not tell people I grew up in Inglewood? That's where I grew up. Lenox is a unincorporated portion of Inglewood. So, you say Inglewood. Oh, you listen to too much music. No, motherfucker. Go check out Lenox. Then tell me what's up. Well, funny thing is, I'm living out here, and I come across somebody who knows Lenox, and exactly what I say about Lenox is exactly how they describe Lenox. When I say, "Oh, well, it's basically Inglewood," yep, that's what it is. When you go down Century Boulevard in Lenox, and you end up in Inglewood, or you go the other way and you end up at the airport. My boss, I don't know. My boss sometimes I think he thinks that I'm just bullshitting. My boss grew up out here in Indio. He's part of the local gang. I think it's called the Vineyard. What do you call them? Anyway, Terrace Vineyards or Vineyards Terrace or something like that. Gang member. That's all his old homies. That's his woo woo woo. Okay. I'm not gonna sit there and discredit my boss because you don't know what you're talking about. I don't care. I don't care to argue. If that's where you're from, that's where you're from. But then when I say I'm from Inglewood, scoffs every time. The other guy, Chef Aaron, like half time he believes me, half time he doesn't. And the thing is, I don't care if you believe me or not. I know what I've been through, and I know where I grew up, and I will never come at you like, "Well, I'm from Inglewood." What? I wasn't never in no gangs in Inglewood. I was part of a clique in Hawthorne. And if you know Inglewood, you know Lenox, you know Hawthorne. Black people call it Hawthorne. All right. I was part of a clique in Hawthorne. I don't necessarily think that it was all that great. I mean, we walk around like this all day, but I mean, what you look at me, you look at glasses, and you think there's no way you were running with no clique. There's no way that you know anything about gangs. And then when I, my glasses on, talking about I'm from Inglewood, everybody could be from somewhere. Just because you got glasses on don't mean shit. I mean, there are people who are from the Coachella neighborhood, 52 SA, 50th SA. They got glasses on too. They're 5 foot nothing, fucking stocky as shit with glasses. Half these fuckers, I don't know. They claim something. And when I said I knew somebody from this Terrace Vineyards, and my boss was like, "Oh, yeah, that's my hood. Yeah. Who do you know?" I'm like, I don't think his name was Juan. I knew him from when I worked at Olive Garden. Oh, yeah, that's my boy Juan. He was a bartender. I'm like, no, this one I knew. He was a dishwasher. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, bro, he's like, describe him. I'm like, he had a bald head like mine, and he had mustache. That's all I can remember from him. He's trying to remember. And I'm like, dog, all I know is that he was at. You're focused on now who the fuck I know. I'm like, as far as I'm concerned, he's not with us. Oh, like he died? I'm like, I guess. I don't know. And then I thought, you know what? The last time I saw that dude was at the Big Rock Pub here in La Quinta. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, he was a bar back. When Johnny and I went to the show to Tomorrow's Bad Seeds, I think. Tomorrow's Bad Seeds or somebody. It was a show at the Big Rock Pub, and Johnny took 100 milligram edible, and then he fell off the bar and I had to go drag him out. That's when I saw, I think his name was Juan. I'm not sure. Might have been Jose. Might have been Jesus. I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is whenever I see or whenever I talk about being part or being from Inglewood, Lenox, Hawthorne, living in Gardena, living wherever, like that was all my old stomping grounds. That was all. I mean, when I talk about Crenshaw, just because you heard Crenshaw on the fucking music, I used to live on Crenshaw on 139th Street. Crenshaw and West 139th. In fact, my address was 3137 West 139th Street, Hawthorne, California, 92250. 92250? No. 90250. 9220. 90250. You know who's also from Hawthorne? The Beach Boys. When Hawthorne and all the area were still full of white people. And guess what? You know what's near Hawthorne? Torrance. You know what's in Torrance? A lot of Asian and a lot of white. You don't hear about that, though. You don't hear about Torrance in the music. You hear about Inglewood, Compton. You know when I moved out here in 2007 and I was working at the Olive Garden? You know, this is where I met this Juan, Jose, Jesus, whatever his name is. I remember hearing one time, it was like a lead waitress, lead server. And she was yelling at everybody, make sure you do your side work, da-da-da-da-da. And she literally said this. She's like, don't mess with me. I got family in Compton. And I looked at her, I'm like, I'm from Hawthorne. Where's that? Do not say you have family in Compton when you got someone who's from Hawthorne, which is near Compton. I used to kick it in Compton. Now, I wasn't part of no Bompton. I wasn't part of no blood gang. I used to kick it in Compton. Now, the part of Compton I kicked it at was off of near Rosecrans, near Rosecrans Avenue, on a street called Edall. Eadall. Now, there are going to be people from Compton, like my wife's cousin and whatever husband, boyfriend she had going on there. Oh, that's not Compton. That's not Compton. Or what is it, LA? Yeah, it's LA. I'm like, same shit. So I'm one street over and it's Compton. Yeah, I'm like, okay. Y'all really care about that shit? When you're over here in Palm Desert, what the fuck do y'all say? Palm Springs? I live in Palm Springs. No, you live in Palm Desert. That's not Palm Springs. That's 2 cities away. So if I'm one street away from, I'm on Edall. No, you're not in Compton. You're in LA. Okay. So if I cross the street, I'm in Compton? Yes. Okay. Well, if you cross 2 cities, you'll get to Palm Springs. Dumbass. That's what I'm saying. People are so fucking. That's why when it comes to being, like I said, I'm from Inglewood, people make a big deal. People want to, they want to take the shit that y'all don't even fucking own. Y'all motherfuckers don't own shit. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all got cars that were gifted to you. That's all you got. You don't own the house you live in or the apartment you rent, right? Or the room you rent, which a lot of y'all rent rooms out here. Right now in the driveway, I literally have 3 cars. I have one car in the driveway because I can only park one car sideways. But then I got my new car. Ooh, let me show y'all that. I got my new car. I just got on Saturday. And I got my white Camry. So this is a 2024 Chevy Trax. And then I got my white 2020 Camry. And then I still have my red 2010 Camry that I'm trying to sell for $2,000. So if y'all need a car, it's a bucket beater. I'll tell you that much. Brand new battery, brand new wipers. I'm just not investing any more money into it. $2,000 is the asking price. If you want to work with me and give me another offer, I'm open to it. But yeah. $2,000 I'm asking. $2,000 what we're asking, my wife and I. It's my wife's car. We have the title. Where it's all paid for, so we have the title in hand. And if you're interested, hit me in the comments. But anyway, I don't understand it. How did I get to that fucking point of talking about Inglewood and all that? Oh, it's because my boss. Yeah. But you know what? What's my wife sending me? Look at that. My wife wants me to get her these little. Give me 3 of these from Trader Joe's. I asked my wife this morning, I'm like, is there anything special you want me to do today? Yesterday I had to call the roofing company. I paid them $11,500 for my roof. And then I had to go to, I went to go pick her up for lunch at 1 o'clock. I was a little late. She got all irate. She's like, I guess you're not going to be there on time. I'm like, okay. So then she saw me because I was like, well, fuck it then. If we're not going to have lunch, I'm just going to go straight to that, to the company, the roofing company. They had their office in Palm Springs. So as I was making a right turn, she gives me, she's calling me from the car, the white car, the Camry. And I'm literally like, okay, what the hell? I thought we're not gonna have lunch. And she's like, just go to Five Guys. It's right there. Just right as I made a right turn. We ended up going to Dickie's. I ended up spending like $50 at Dickie's barbecue. It was all right. Had the Westerner sandwich. You could choose two meats in your sandwich with cheese and onions. Onions won't even cook. It was all raw onion. I'm like, I prefer grilled onions. So yeah. Anywho, guys, so my wife now wants me to go to Trader Joe's. Wonderful. 43-year-old black woman says $150,000 is broke. All right, we're gonna watch this one.
I normally don't post things like this that sound negative. I'm about to sound negative, just so you know. And man, I'm going to be talking about you. I normally don't do that because I'm a person who typically believes that people are inherently good. Life is just easier that way. And that, I've had good experiences dating. But if I come across one more post about a man talking about he's choosing his peace, he's not dating anymore, he's but my money's intact. Fuck off. All the way off. Because I've been out here dating for about 4 years now, okay? Y'all don't have no money.
What's up with all of these serial daters? I'm trying to understand, like, do y'all date for fun? If you've been dating for 4 years and you've been dating multiple different people, then you've had nobody that said, hey, I want to be in this committed relationship that ultimately leads to marriage. Does it really matter if you've had some fun dates? We'll get back to that.
You don't.
Also, you're dating. You open your legs too. For 4 years, open legs. Because use a hoe.
Have money. I have yet to date a man that actually makes more than me. I have yet to date a man that can do more for me than I can do for myself. Now,
why would he do that? You're an adult. I wonder how much money that she makes. How much do y'all think that she makes? Let me know inside of the chat how much money y'all think she make per year. And if you think that that is an amount that generally is more than what men are making.
normally,
She's bragging, so she must make $80,000 a year. I make $80,000 a year. No, I make like $75,000 a year, but still, 2 sources of income. But yeah, she must make $80,000 a year.
it's not a problem. I'm a little annoyed this morning. I don't know. Maybe I need to go back into my prayer closet. But normally that's not a problem because I don't date men for money because I'm good. I'm usually like, oh, you know, if you're stable, you can take care of yourself. I can take care of myself. Let's put something together, make it rock. Fuck that. I'm not putting anything together with anybody anymore. I'm just not. Because when I find a man who makes what I make, not more than me, but about what I make, they're so concerned with protecting it and reciprocity. And, you know, I want to see a woman who's going to put in, you know what I mean? So what has happened is at 43 years old, if I date a man my age or older, which is the typical range that I like to date, they have already been in relationships where they've done the things, right? They've did the 2 jobs and they had the kids and they paid all the bills and they've done the things that I would have loved for a man to do for me, but now they're looking for that give back. What you gonna give me? You know what I mean? That's what they're looking for.
No, I think that she has a very clear misunderstanding of what men are looking for. Men want you to have skin in the game and they want you to have equity into what y'all got going on because they don't want to feel like they're doing it by themselves and that you're just a leech. So why are you looking for a man to do something for you that you can already do for yourself if you're sufficient?
I normally don't post things like this that sound negative. I'm about to sound negative.
If women, I'm not talking about all women. There's some of y'all out there who y'all stay 1,000. But if most women would actually admit that when they're out there looking for somebody or they want to be with somebody, and I just feel like some women need to be more. They need to admit and not omit. Admit the facts and don't omit the facts. Like a lot of, you say you don't care about a man for money, but you care about a man with money. Like, so a man makes money, he's protecting it. He wants you to put in half, and you don't like that. But you can never find a man that makes more money than you. Women out here want a man to make 100,000 a year, but won't make 100,000 a year. You want, the standards for men are always too high. Me personally, if I were to be single again, I think I just honestly, I mean, I was looking for a bottle of lotion nearby. Well, I was saying, I was saying last night in the chat, I want a cardboard cutout Doja Cat, and you won't see me on the chat for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how much is out there now? Pocket pussies, and they got little moldings of women's asses and shit. Like, I get that the molding of a woman's ass is not the same as an actual body, a warm body, but they're making them they're very realistic now. Not to say I'm not trying to sound like a creep or nothing, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, if the one thing that I'm missing out of a relationship is a woman complaining and crying about something that I could deal without, I'm gonna deal without. This is my man cave right here, and it needs some work. It needs some work, but like, if I could have a closet right here, if I could turn this closet into a bathroom, let's see. It needs work. I've a lot of mess in here, but back here I have a fridge. I don't know if you can see it. I have a fridge, which I'm gonna get a bigger fridge, but also have snacks there. If you, in case you're wondering what that is right there, it's a glass case with memorabilia and stuff like that. Pretty soon, that's coming down because Trump's only going to be in office till 2028. Yeah. So after 2028, that's coming down. And then where we at? This is it. That can stay up. That won't be outdated. Some people agree with, some people don't. If you don't agree with America being a great country, but you live in America, I kind of feel like, why are you here? Emigrate, not immigrate. Emigrate, meaning leaving this country. Go find a new country to go to. I'm not kicking y'all out. I'm just saying, go discover another country that you want to live in. Again, this will be taken down eventually, right? Okay, look, I have a MAGA hat. I have a red MAGA hat. Got it from the Trump rally that was here in Coachella, right? It's not the authentic. I got the $20 hat, not the $40 hat. The $20 hat says made in China. It's the replica of the authentic one that was made here in the United States. Why did I choose to get the $20 hat versus the $40 hat? Because to me, it was the same hat, regardless of price, and it says the same message. Make America great again. I believe on the backside says Trump, but Trump ran for office 3 times. The first time Trump ran for office, I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Gary Johnson. He was the libertarian candidate. I consider myself, or I identify as libertarian. Absolute freedom. You can marry who you want. You can arm yourself if you want. Just don't hurt anyone in the process. And also leave the children alone. I think that's pretty simple. If I ran for president ever in my life, I would probably identify as a Republican, conservative, but I would have libertarian views. You The sad part is you have to run as Democrat or Republican. You can't run as your libertarian or whatever the case, right? So that's the sad part. But upon choosing, I would choose Republican just to run as a Republican, but then my views would be as a libertarian. Absolute freedom, small government, and again, marry who you want. So if you want to be, Adam and Steve, be Adam and Steve. All good, right? If you want to be, what's the whole? If you want to be Kate and Edith, have your Kate and Edith too. If you want to be Kate and Edith, then be Kate and Edith. If you want to be a transgender woman or transgender man, so be it. As an adult, 18 and over, age of consent. If you want to, if you're a Michael and you want to be a Mia, so be it. If you want to be, actually knew a person, was Catherine, became Calvin, so be it. 18 and over, you decide what you want to do with your life. Do not hurt anyone in the process of living your adult life, and do not touch kids. All pedophiles deserve death. Link is in my bio. Nothing. I sell shirts online now. Also, I have a new shirts or merch store, and I started selling air fresheners for cars, which I'm working on getting my order in. Coffee mugs. For the ladies, I've got pencil skirts. So if you like pencil skirts, I used my my C with the crown on it with the purple circle I made a pattern out of it. So again, it's all drop ship. So like, don't hit me up asking me to send you something. It's all drop ship. I had to actually buy it from Printify and then send it, or you go into Printify, and then you order it off of there, and I get a commission of whatever you buy. So that's how that works. Until I can actually have my own production here in the house, which I don't know how. I've been thinking about it. I've been trying to see how I can invest into like a DTG printer, direct to garment, or even screen printing. I would love to do screen printing. I have a friend of mine who's actually my best friend's ex father-in-law, and he actually has a screen printing business out of his garage here in Indio. And I he's been wanting me to go to his house so I can learn screen printing, and I want to do it, and I want to start my own. It's just a matter of time. So also, a lot of my content, I'm thinking about changing up my content, and I want to know what you guys feel about that. I mean, I've never really taken anyone's or considered anyone's opinion. I mean, I do. I listen to you guys. I listen to my faithfuls. A lot of times, I'll take suggestions from my faithfuls, and actually working on a couple suggestions right now. Everything's on my phone, so I got a MacBook because everybody told me, you do videos, you should get a MacBook, blah blah. And I tried taking my Android and putting my MacBook, and I guess the new MacBooks don't. You can't connect them. So, but I was thinking about buying those smart glasses, whether it's the Meta Ray-Bans or I've seen the Senas. There's also one called what was it called? There's one that's like it's It's not advertised, but it's supposed to be far better than the Meta Ray Bans and the Senna. The Senna is just really inexpensive. And anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I'm thinking about doing or starting to create a channel or changing up my whole format. Less about less about my opinion on certain things. Less on because I don't feel like I give a lot of political view. I feel like it's still conservative content, in the sense that, I oppose pushing transgenderism on little kids. I oppose abortion in the sense that, you go and be a hoe and then you get an abortion. Like, I support abortion for rape victims and for uh what is that shit called? Where your family and you're fucking each other. Incest. So I support abortion for incest and incestual rape, and also just for rape in general. So I'm sure I'm sure other people can agree with me in that. I don't support abortion when it comes to people who are just hoes. If all you do is open your legs and you let people nut, I you suffer the consequences of your own actions. And because I also support adoptions, no matter what skin color you are. Stop going to other countries to adopt children in the United States. AdoptUSKids.org. But yeah, anyway, so I'm thinking about buying these little glasses with little cameras on it, and while I'm at work cooking up burgers or I'm at home cooking in the kitchen, I'm thinking about making that my primary content here on YouTube. So there'll still be the King True. I might even change it up. I might even change it up and not be the King True Chronicles anymore. I might. I don't want to step away from the King Churro. A lot of people don't understand the King Churro, where it came from. I have a video explaining it, but again, people just. The thing is I feel like my content would be viewed a lot more if it were food and not um, what you would consider political. And I don't know. It's when I see certain things, a lot of people have success doing what I'm trying to do. Um, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not promoting enough. Maybe I'm not doing enough as far as what apps I go on to. I've been trying to not download as many apps on my phone, mainly because I have a lot of content that I need to. I try to use for the videos I make for here. But I honestly just think that if I change up the primary content, sorry, I'm picking like skin. If I change up the primary content on my YouTube channel, I think I'd have more views. I tend to get a lot of views for all my food when I'm cooking. I tend to get a lot of views when it comes to car shows and so on and so forth. So obviously, the general census is that uh, more or less the general interest is food and cars. And I've got a couple of people here or I've met a couple people that they want to jump on and jump on with me and uh, talk about political stuff. I met a hairdresser named James, and he is bisexual, and he was cutting my hair. I got a free coupon for Great Clips, and so he works at Great Clips in La Quinta. And James and I were talking. He actually messed up my hair in the beginning. Like one side was like this high, and the other side was this high. It was weird, and he didn't blend it in or nothing. And anyway, the conversation we had, again, this is a blonde-haired, possibly blue-eyed man with eyeliner and a shirt with blue flames on it. And he surprised me. He had very conservative views. I guess the surprise was the fact that he's curious, or he's not curious. He's bisexual. I'll say bi-curious, but I was like, no, wait, that's not the word. And then I chose curious instead of bi for some reason. Anyway, he's bisexual. I think he mostly is drawn to men, and which is, again, I don't care what you do. I always say that bisexuals are greedy, like choose one already, but whatever. No, so he's bisexual. I'll tell you, grown man wearing makeup, and but our conversation, like I said, I think that rainbow flags should not be in the classroom. He agreed. He's like that it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add to the educational process, right? It doesn't add to kids learning about math and science and reading comprehension and so on and so forth. So there's that. And then he like everything that had to do with kids and the LGBTQ, he's like, that's unnecessary. So we agreed there, and we agreed a couple other notes, and he was like, because me being a veteran, and that's the reason why I got the free voucher for the free haircut, because I got it on Veterans Day, and then I got the haircut prior to, I think, Thanksgiving. And so he was saying, like, thank you for your service, and I don't know if I'd want to. I don't know if I'd want you to would want to serve under this administration. I'm like, oh, okay, so he's already think in my head like he's coming out the liberal talk, right? And I'm like, well, then I started going off about how the LGBTQ, I kind of pinpointed the fact that he was, I see a man with the blue flames on his shirt, and and he had
I normally don't post.
Oh, shit. And he had the eyeliner. So divorcing my wife. I asked for dinner, not groceries. Oh, wait. I want to see this.
I feel like you have a lot of opinions for somebody who has experience with only 11 men versus the women who have experience with a lot of men.
So you're saying I don't have experiences with men?
When you're not even a U.S. citizen.
No, what? You said I've taken more dicks than you, so I have more experience with men. I'm telling you, I not only grew up in social services, but I grew up on the streets. And where I'm from, if you're a woman on the streets, you either man the fuck up or you get pimped out. So I have plenty of experience with men. I have been sexually assaulted, and I was molested by my older brother as a child. So don't think for a second that I'm coming here with some naivety to men, because I have plenty of experiences with negative men. Does that mean that I'm going to look at those men and say, Brian's going to do the same thing? This gentleman over here is going to do the same thing? 90% of the population is going to do that. No, we should not be living in this constant fear. And whether I'm American or not, it doesn't matter. I'm right above you guys. This isn't Romania versus the USA. Give me a fucking break.
It's not to say all men are going to do that. It's that we don't know who we're going to have that encounter with, so we don't want to take that risk.
For somebody that's terrified of men, you sure take money from them all the time.
I never said I was terrified of men.
Don't you escort?
It's the number one reason for unaliving pregnant women lion is their partner.
No.
You're saying women would pick the bear because men most often commit violent crimes, which is true. Okay. So if Brian were to sit here and say women are the number one killers of their children in America every year, who would you rather leave your child with, a woman or a cougar?
Oh, that's a good one.
Are you going to sit there and be like, oh, it's the cougar? Because no, you're going to say give it to the woman.
97% of
That's a good
all
one,
perpetrators of child sexual abuse is men.
Again, your mental gymnastics. I'm saying abuse and murder. Can we stick on that?
Yeah, and my little sister works for social
No,
services.
mental gymnastics.
And
Great,
she
I grew up in it.
literally has
Cougar
had
or a
every
woman?
single case has been
Cougar or a woman?
I don't even have a
Yeah,
kid. I don't think I should speak on it since I don't have a child. But you
Okay.
said that you're a mother, so that you can speak on
Yeah, and I
things
would
of
be a
mother.
woman. And I was
Right,
also
okay.
extremely abused by my mother.
That's what's
for
wrong.
a long
Okay.
time. No, it's called having a brain.
Mhm.
It's called being
Felt the need to
educated.
fly to America.
Why does it matter?
Oh,
where
no,
she
you were
from?
notice how she completely avoided answering my question on whether or not she would leave her child alone with a cougar or a woman.
The possibility of being raped versus the possibility of nothing versus the possibility of like nothing versus rape or like nothing versus death.
It's a disingenuous argument to avoid saying my argument is based off of a logical fallacy. We could just say what it is. That's fine. Oh, girl.
I feel like you have a lot of opinions for somebody who has experience.
You know, when she silenced them, it kind of felt like they paused the video or some shit. Like it was no movement at all. Whoa. So the man versus bear scenario makes zero sense. You women who choose a bear over a man, first of all, put yourself in a situation where there was a man and a bear and you. I think the man would save you from the bear. Or probably what I would do, since you're going to be useless anyway, you know, if this woman was literally screaming and, you know, I'm tossing your ass to the fucking bear. I'm saving my ass. Fuck you. You're gonna sit here. You can't pitch a tent. You can't gather firewood. You can't do a goddamn thing. You know what? Here you go, bear. Put yourself in a situation, ladies. If you were in front of a man and a bear, and the man more than likely will help you survive the bear. The man will probably kill the bear, skin it, and then start the fire and feed you the meat. That man will help you survive. That bear will kill you for his or her survival. You don't even know what the bear is because you can't see genitals. Right? It's not like a dog. So that man versus bear situation doesn't make sense. Just like, well, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense when women choose the bear because a man might rape you. How about a bear with just one swipe of their paw and you're done? Now, Chloe, talking about, would you trust a cougar and not an old, and we're not talking about a sexy old woman, we're talking about an actual mountain lion versus a woman who statistically she was saying that women are the biggest perpetrators of, you know, children's death, right? Especially the women who run their minivans into the car, into the river and watch their kids drown. So, would you trust your child with a cougar, a mountain lion, or a woman? Well, it's a wild animal, and mountain lions are known to be hunting prey smaller than them. So I would trust my child with a woman. I don't understand how that's hard. I don't understand how that's difficult to understand. Problem is, there's a lot of women, a lot of creepy ass women who want to take your child for some dumb fucking reason and make money doing child sex trafficking. That's not the case all the time, but it's a case. Anyway. Let me see, there's one more. And then
Yeah, the kids was hungry, right? I ain't gonna take them my kids. So I just bought groceries and shit. They should be good for the week.
Why? Cause your little girlfriend in the car?
Put my girlfriend in the car. Why you always bringing up the wrong shit? I'm doing for my kids that you can see.
I asked you to take us out to dinner.
Girls, you crazy? Them groceries is way better than him taking you to dinner. At least your kids will have multiple meals versus just one.
Ain't no dinner, bro.
You just said we was gonna go
Why
to
spend $100, $200 at a restaurant? We gonna spend $200 at the fucking grocery store.
You just said we was gonna go.
Nothing I do is never enough. It's never enough, bro.
What is they supposed to eat?
What you mean? It's cereal, chips, stuff you cook, noodles and shit.
You be playing. That's all you do. You just be playing in my face all day, every day.
And the crazy thing about this, if he would have took them to dinner, her ass would be calling him the next day asking for some groceries. Girl, you still can go to dinner. You just need to go on your dime.
And then when I cuss you out and I threaten to put you on child support, when I cuss you out and threaten to put you on child support, you be looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. Why would you come in here with some fucking Walmart groceries? And I said, that's just that girl. It's nobody but that girl. Like, be fucking for real. It's that girl.
Now, why the hell do child support always gotta come up when you don't get your way? But go ahead and file it. Because I bet you 9 times out of 10, your ass ain't gonna get half of what you get now. Because all that calling him to do all of that shit gonna stop, and then you gonna get the complaining and shit. And ain't shit you can do about it. Y'all always want to throw child support because you don't get your way. No, throw child support on the deadbeat daddies. Don't throw child support on a man that's doing something. Y'all crazy as hell. That's why y'all always end up on the losing end when y'all do that shit based off of some goddamn feelings. Keep your feelings inside your heart, boo.
Black people, y'all need a better representation. Sorry. Anyway. Whoa. I'm cutting this off. Thank you for watching, y'all. It's your boy King Churro. Remember to be great every day because tomorrow's never promised.